Peace and prosperity be unto all who's listening and watching. It's your girl, Shay Miller, right? And I'm back with another video. And today, I just want to talk to you guys about the road less traveled and, overcoming fears that may be holding you back, maybe hindering you, maybe paralyzing you, crippling you, disabling you, and making you unable to strive and thrive towards your ambitions and the desires that you seek and want in your life. And the road less traveled is very recommended. Like, you want to be on that path. That's the path of the most uncomfortableness, the most you can't predict what's going to happen. Even if you're someone who prepares, you're not going to always be prepared with what's going to come, right? Many opportunities, many times in your life where you're going to have to adjust and change, because there's going to be some comfort zones that you're going to be having to overcome, right? It's going to be some times where you're really uncomfortable, and you're going to have to overcome those times of uncomfortableness. But you're also going to have to go through the phase of being uncomfortable while growing through your through this process, right? So the road less traveled is recommended it's the road I would choose, right? It's the road of most difficulty. It's the road of, true abundance, because you're chasing after something that you actually want. It's the road that people are willing to travel is like a path of least resistance, least work, least ambition, least obligation to pursue your dreams. That is the most pursued path of everybody. But the path of road less travel is doing the things that you never would do. Is taking risks and overcoming fear. It's not to say that fear doesn't exist. It's not to say that fear isn't there. It's not to say that you're not anxious. It's not to say that you don't feel uncomfortable. It's to say that despite all those feelings, despite what I'm feeling within myself, I'm still going to do it. Like, the biggest thing I overcome in 2019, this is 2020, and I'm still progressing, okay? Still progressing. The thing I'm overcome in like 2019 was driving on the highway. I am so uncomfortable with driving around diesel trucks and driving long distance in general, just driving on a highway, driving on a road. I like to drive, but I'm from a small town, and 20 minutes literally mean 20 minutes here in a town. It takes 20 minutes. It's like this. When you're going to a city, or you're traveling to a city, or you're traveling to something, for every minute is a mile. For every mile turns into hours. So it's like so long. You're like, it says it's 20 minutes. If I was in town, I'm like, if I was in my hometown, 20 minutes would have been up already. But since in a city, everything is so far apart and it's so many miles away, the drive is so exhausting and it's boring, because I'm a mentally stimulated person and I have to entertain my mind. So the biggest thing I had to overcome in 2019 was getting over my discomfort of driving. I still have anxiety. I still dislike driving, but as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who aspires to do great things with my life, I have to keep it moving, and I have to overcome things that make me uncomfortable. It makes me very anxious. It makes me very, concerned, especially when it's raining. Everybody has things they have to overcome, and driving on the highway or driving long distance, and it's some places I haven't drove to yet, but that's because I didn't get myself in a mindset of how I can enjoy it, because I don't really enjoy it at all. It's boring. I get bored easily. driving for long periods of time can be very, yeah. But yeah, that was something I had to learn to overcome in 2019. It is 2020, and I still have the rest of the year to figure out 2020's life lesson. But as of now, my biggest thing, because I'm a saver, I'm somebody who likes to save. I like to prepare. I like to get myself ready for, things that like setbacks and all that good stuff. But my biggest thing is learning how to take risk to invest in my success. So I am a goal-driven individual, and I'm very ambitious, and I have my dreams and I have my goals, and I capitalize on those things every single day. But I need to be more willing to sacrifice and take risks to invest more on different things than what I do. I know I'm a very invested person, but I am a wise investor. And that's a great thing. Being a wise investor is good. Be selective in what you invest and put yourself and your energy into. But it's with people like me, it's also a big thing. Like, I don't take as many risks because I'm more wise about risk. So it's just being open-minded to taking more risks towards my success. That way I can be more invested in me and my happiness, and what will make me happy, what will make me expand financially, and succeed as a young entrepreneur. So I'm opening my mind to different things that I usually wouldn't do, because it's time for growth. And if I want to see growth, I can't keep doing the same thing every single day and expecting a different outcome. I am growing as a woman, and every single day I learn something new. I take time, and I am very grateful for all the things I've learned so far. I'm really pushing myself to be the best I can be. Not the best in the world, not the most perfect, but the one who's all about improvement. The one that's all willing to listen, but also willing to take on information and being acknowledged, but not being the person who's acknowledged, but have no acknowledgement of what I need to change. Like, it's like those people, because you have people in the world all around that acknowledges that they need to change with no actions of changing, or acknowledging that is something that needs to be changed without actually knowing what needs to be changed. And you can't be either of those people. You got to be somebody, if you're going to acknowledge that you know you need to change, you know what you need to change, but you have no actions to back what you need to change, then you are responsible. And if you're somebody who knows within yourself that you need to change, but with no ability to identify what needs to actually be changed within yourself, or the situation or the problem, and you have no solution for it, and you're not looking to find a solution, but you want to complain about it, you're also obligated to find the solution or figure out the identification of what it is that you actually need to change as a person. Us working on ourselves is vital to our existence, and the path of being on a road that is less traveled, or a path less traveled, is important, because it allows you to grow. It allows you to expand. It allows you to many opportunities that you would never thought you had. It's getting yourself out there to more people and putting yourself in a position where you can grow in ways that you never thought. And I'm having to expand, and I'm having to open my mind even more, even though I'm already a very open-minded person. You can never be too open-minded about anything, and you can never limit yourself on the possibilities of things coming to happen in your life. Like, stop believing small-minded. Like, dream bigger, think bigger, do more actions, take bigger risk. Yes, save. Like, I believe in saving. I believe in building my credit, and I'm working on all those things. But I also believe in investing, and I also believe in taking risk to invest towards your success. But it requires a lot of massive action. It requires you to be persistent and consistent in the things you want. It requires you to be sure about what you want. It requires you not being afraid of overcoming discomfort, and it requires you to be uncomfortable, okay? It requires you to have to live within your discomfort in order to overcome the obstacle that has been holding you back from the very thing that you desire and the very thing that you want. So the biggest thing is just knowing what's holding you back and making sure that you take actions to walk towards it, walk through it, walk in it, to overcome it. The only way you're going to get through something is if you face it. And if you never come to face with it, you can never overcome it. You can never let it be the power that speaks through you, because the very thing that you allow to cripple you, disable you, or hold you back and hinder you and become an obstacle is the very thing that will make you sad, that will nag in your mind and make you mad and make you depressed, and you have these dark thoughts that talk to you in your head and tell you how you're not good enough. You're not good enough because you don't choose to be your best. You don't choose to give yourself your best effort. You choose to be someone who's filled with ideas and dreams, but with no actions or persistence of doing nothing. And you're somebody who speaks about what you want, but don't necessarily do what you want, right? So when you take the massive actions to do the things that you really desire, then you can have the life that you not hope for, because we don't hope in this life. You can have the life that you believe in. You can have the life that you want. You can have the life that you desire, the life that you seek. And the law of attraction is really important. Think of the things you want, write them out, and work towards them. Eventually, you'll start to see those things appear in your life, opportunities that involve the very things that you're seeking opportunity-wise. Things that you're involved in, you start doing them more often, you start seeing it more often as well. It's all about what you seek. What you seek, you shall find. And if you're seeking for something, you're definitely going to find it, because things come near when you seek what is far off. What seems far off in the mind really is near, because all it takes is us reconverting the subconscious to think about it. So we're shifting it in our minds to bring it forth in front of us. It's not that it's not there. It's not that it's not there at all. It's just it's not seen. So let's get focused on our goals. Let's get focused on overcoming fears, overcoming comfort zones, traveling the road less traveled, which means it can mean anything for you. It could be taking that job that you weren't sure about. It can be learning to overcome such and such, facing things that you have trauma from. It's anything. It's learning how to invest, but also learning how to save as well. It's learning how to prepare and learning how to come back from setbacks by preparing. It's focusing on building credit and how credit helps you, and getting involved in so many different things, but also expanding yourself with other people, expand your business partners and the kind of business that you're involved in, so that you can see massive growth in your financial area. So you want to advance in all aspects, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You want to become the best. You want to be healthy. You want to live happier, but you want to be happy as a state of being mentally happy. You want to be inner happy. So inner happiness comes within, but it all starts in the mind. So being happy and having a gratitude attitude on a daily basis, very important, is very vital to your existence, okay? Being happy with the very things that you have already is more empowering than obtaining more, right? So let's be grateful. Let's be grateful. Let's be grateful for the things we have, so that we never take for granted the things right here, okay? And these very things that we have allows us to get where we want to be, so that we can obtain the more that we desire. So let's focus and be grateful for what this. But while we have this, let's multiply this, use this accordingly to push ourselves to where we need to be, so that we can expand and multiply in other aspects of our lives, because the very things that we have actually help us. And if we don't learn how to use the things around us and network with the people around us, communicate and learn to listen and learn how to be better in many aspects, just helping people in a way that you know how. And some people may not even want your advice, but there's nothing wrong with giving it, because the subconscious mind can't tell the difference between a lie or truth. But you can always program and feed seeds into people, and everybody is just a harvest that you plant seeds into. You plant seeds into everybody. Some people need water, some people need sun, some people need some soil, some people need, whatever they need. Whatever a person needs, they'll get it eventually. So we all just harvests waiting on what we need, okay? Until we have what we need, we can't grow abundantly and prosperously and multiply and have that financial breakthrough that we want and get to the place of true contentment. But you want to be completely content with yourself, that inner peace. So travel the road less traveled is really just taking a major risk, a major step up, a major difference in your life, changing the way you view things, the way you do things, the way you set goals for yourself, the way you accomplish things, the way you invest in yourself. All these different things are important, and you want to take the time to do it. So what's holding you back, and what can you work on today to make sure that your tomorrow is phenomenal, that your rest of your year is prosperous, and that the many years to come is abundant? Okay, what can we do to make sure that we are financially secure but also stable? Because financial literacy is very important in the level of society now, because it's very hard to be an entrepreneur and have good finances right now. But being an entrepreneur is far more better than working for an employer. Trust me. It's better to work for oneself, because you're living for your dream. You're no longer working somebody else. It's time to start living for you. And when do you plan to start? So let's get started. Let's get happy. Let's get vibing. Let's get content. Let's overcome fears. Let's face fears. And let's get to a point where we are growing and having massive growth on a daily basis. So let's be phenomenal. And I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. So peace out.